Alright, let's start by inserting a module script into server script service. You can name yours whatever you want. I'm going to call mine test module. Now, what is a module script? In all of its basic form, a module script is basically a script that you can access from other scripts. So, for example, I could have another script inside of server script service access test module and access everything inside of it. But now, how do we use this practically? Well, module scripts are essentially big giant tables. You can see right here when you create a module script, it automatically creates a table and it says local module is equal to this empty table, and then it automatically returns that table. A good practice to keep things nice and organized would be to rename this table. So let's just go ahead and call the table test module. And then because we're returning it, we will also need to return the correct name. Now, how do we actually go ahead and add things to this table? Well, you could, in theory, just go ahead and add things like this into the table, but it is much better practice when writing module scripts to do it down here. We can store whatever we want inside a module script. Strings, booleans, functions, methods, whatever you want. So let's start out by creating a string. We could say test module.myString equals to, and you could just put whatever you want. I'm just going to say hello everyone. Okay, so there's my string, and now this test module table will include this myString variable that is set to hello everyone. Now let's create a function inside of this module, because module scripts are very often used to create functions. Now how do we do this? Well, it's kind of like how we added a string to the table, but all we have to say is function test module, and then you give it a function name, such as print myString. And then you add the open and close parentheses, and now we have a function inside of this table. Now, what do we want to do in this function? This is up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and print test module, remember that's our table, dot myString. So it'll go ahead and print the string whenever we call this function. Now, if we go ahead and run this, you'll notice nothing happens, and that's because that function was never called. Now, you may think that we can just go ahead and say test module.print myString like this, go ahead and run it, but you'll notice, well, nothing ever happens. And why is that? Well, that's because we haven't required the module yet. This is what makes module scripts different from regular scripts. Basically, they need to be required or loaded from a different script. So let's go ahead and set that up now. Go ahead and insert a script into server script service, and this is the script we are actually going to load our module script from. How do we load a module script? Well, there's this function called require, and that's how we go ahead and load it. Let's create a variable for our module script. We can say local test module, and then all we have to say is equals to require, and then in these parentheses you want to put the path to your module. So script.parent.test module. And that will load our module script. But how can we actually run this function that we created? Now that we have the test module as a variable, we can access anything in it like a regular table. So we could say print test module.myString, and if we were to run it, it would print hello everyone, because in the test module we have returned myString is equal to hello everyone. Now, we can also run functions from our main script by saying test module.printMyString, and this will run a function. Now we can click run, and you can see it says hello everyone. If this video has been helpful so far, I'd really appreciate it if you take a minute to go ahead and destroy that like button. That lets YouTube know that this video is helpful, so they'll start spreading it to more people. Thank you so much. Now let's go ahead and create a function for adding two numbers. Inside of our module script, we can say function test module.add numbers. And this time we're going to add some parameters. We'll say num1, num2. Now we're going to have to pass through a number and another number, but we can just say print num1 plus num2. Now inside of a regular script, go ahead and print test module.add numbers, and then you can put two numbers in here, such as 65 and 86. Now if we run it, it will print 151, which is the sum of 65 and 86. You can also return values from a function in a module script. So let's say you wanted to have a function in your module script where you could, I don't know, multiply some number by 50 and return the result. You could say function test module.multiply number, and then you could just say return number times 50. So this will return whatever number was passed times 50. Next, in our main script, we can just get that value. So we can say local multiplied value equals to test module.multiply, and then let's just do 20, so it'll return 20 times 50, and then we can just say print multiplied value, or you can do whatever you want with this multiplied value variable. If we click run, it'll say 1000 because that's 20 times 50, and there we go. That's how you return in module scripts. If you want to learn how to make an egg hatching system in Roblox, go ahead and click this video right here. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.